Did I buy the Nintendo Switch 2 on launch? Yes. Do I think it's a fair price considering all the other consoles and handhelds available on the market right now? Yes. Have I been enjoying every single second with my Nintendo Switch 2? Kinda? And would I recommend to you, the viewer, to buy the Nintendo Switch 2 right now, before it's too late? Let's talk about it. Now, if you've been watching me for quite a while, you know that I'm a pretty big fan of Nintendo and all their characters. I'm talking about Mario, Pokemon. Oh, Scooby's outside. Splatoon, Kirby, Zelda, oh shoot, and of course, even Rob. Yeah, a really big fan of Rob. Nintendo's been at the forefront of most of my content for as long as I've been on YouTube. But if you are new here, let me catch you up to speed. My first ever console, if you can believe it, was the Wii. And since then, I've had pretty much every single Nintendo console, spanning from the Wii all the way now to the Nintendo Switch. And of course, over the years, I've played other consoles. I've played Xbox, PlayStation. I even have my own PC, and I do play games in there sometimes. But Nintendo will always be at the center for me. And especially when it comes to something new like the Nintendo Switch 2, I knew I had to have it. So I bought the Switch 2 on launch. Oh, it's gonna be weird. I have to kind of... This might be in the video, or if not, but I have to dig my Switch 2 out of the corner. I bought the Switch 2 on launch. I opted for the Mario Kart World bundle just because it was a little bit cheaper to buy the bundle than just the console and the game separately at that point. Made a little video about that as well. Got a lot of controversial takes on that. Now, a side topic too, I do love my physical games, but if it meant saving a little bit of money, I would have opted for the digital one either way. And truth be told, up until the last couple of months, I kind of didn't necessarily play my Switch 2 as much as I thought I would. Mario Kart was great, but some of the releases that came a little bit afterwards weren't essentially enough to kind of hold me in. So I spent most of my time kind of playing all my older Switch games, which I will get to that in just a moment. I own the original Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch OLED models, as I'm sure most of you do as well. But that didn't stop me from buying into the hype of the Nintendo Switch 2. I mean, did I really have to purchase it? No, but...
Buzz YOLO!
This is where most people would tell you to wait to buy the console, especially if you already own a Nintendo Switch 1 or an OLED. They'd say wait until those prices drop, which at this rate might not happen for a long time. But with all of that said, I was thrilled to buy this console for two main reasons. Well, more like three. Number one, the ability to play Switch 1 games on your Switch 2 and have them look even better than before. Number two, the exclusives and the promise of more to come, including first and third party games. Number three, the feeling of playing on a premium console that can stand alongside giants like the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 and actually have it be a Nintendo console for once. It's crazy. Now, I won't lie to you, I'm not the type of guy that really focuses on the nitty-gritty of graphical upscaling or DLSS and all that kind of stuff. There's plenty of other creators that do that, so obviously go check them out if you want to hear more about them. However, I do think they're important to include when it comes to making newer technology in gaming and for giving the consumer a variety of choices on what to buy. But I don't believe that whether a console can run a game at 120 frames per second at 4K resolution or not should be a deal breaker. I also don't like the idea that people say that you can waste your money on the wrong console because it doesn't perform at 120 frames at 4K resolution or any of that crap like that. At the end of the day, it is up to you yourself on what you want to buy and how you want to spend your money. No one else. But as a fan of gaming and a fan of Nintendo, I would be lying to you if I said I didn't care at all about how the games look and feel. I can remember how bad some of the games on the Wii and Wii U and 3DS would look compared to the others during their lifespans, and could never imagine the idea of playing a Nintendo game at such a high frame rate and resolution. So call it an added bonus to an already beefy console at an affordable price. While I think the current price of the Nintendo Switch 2 is definitely worth it in the long run, it's now time to talk about everyone's favorite topic, the games. As it stands right now, there are about 10 or so Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games, and I could be very wrong about that, so please forgive me, and I happen to have exactly 3 of them. Donkey Kong Bananza, Pokemon Pokopia, and of course Mario Kart World digitally. And while I already have Final Fantasy VII Remake on my PS4, I decided to opt for the integrated version on Nintendo Switch 2. You know what? Maybe I'll actually beat the game for once. The rest of the games I've been playing have either been downloaded digitally or are from my already existing Switch 1 library. And I'll be honest, there's not a lot to pick from in terms of Switch 2 exclusives as of right now. I know I mentioned the promise of upcoming games as a main reason why I bought the console, and there's plenty of announced and unannounced games to look forward to. You just have to be a bit patient for now, which is surprisingly hard for some people these days. Of the games I do have, I love them all. Mario Kart World is your classic racing game with all sorts of wacky gimmicks and fun chaos whenever you boot up the game. Do I think it's worth $80, however? No, but I do think if there is DLC in the near future, hopefully free DLC, it will be well worth it. But it's a staple to have at least one game you can go back to over the course of a console's lifespan. I mean, just look at how long Mario Kart 8 lasted. Donkey Kong Bananza and Pokopia, however, are game changers. Both are priced at $70, which seems to be the industry standard now, and despite one of them being a game keycard, they are must-haves on the Nintendo Switch 2. Donkey Kong Bananza is a compelling and beautiful single-player story game starring the King of Kongs and a young Pauline, where every level of the underground is different from the last, each holding secrets and more for you to discover. The gameplay is fun, it's direct, and by all means the music is amazing. And more recently, Pokemon Pokopia, a game I was absolutely not going to buy when announced, but thanks to the power of FOMO, and a little convincing from my friends on the Nintendo podcast, I was all in. You should totally subscribe, by the way. And I'm glad to say the game has me hooked since the start. There's something about a cozy style life sim game with Pokemon that just works for some reason. And the game is a lot larger than what was advertised, which is something that game companies should continue doing more of, so that way I can discover something for the first time truly blind and not ruined by a leak or a spoiler. I can confidently say that both of these games and Mario Kart are 100% justifiable for you to purchase a Nintendo Switch 2. And with even more games on the way like Tomodachi Life Living the Dream, Splatoon Raiders, Rhythm Heaven, Pokemon Winds and Waves, and the inevitable new Mario, Zelda, Kirby, etc., there's so much potential for this to be a staple in Nintendo's lineup of already legendary consoles. You just have to be patient. Side note, it actually took me way too long to record this video, so I already have Tomodachi Life, and I'm absolutely loving this game as well. It is a must-buy, and if you haven't bought it yet, what are you doing? Of course, with all these great things about the Switch 2 and its games, there's almost always some negativity that comes with it. Even at launch night, there are so many negative comments, opinions, and overall vibes about the Switch 2 from the jump. If you recall, I even got a few of those comments on my first Switch 2 in Philly clip. I do think there are some causes for concern on a few things, like the variable pricing of Nintendo's games, or how it feels like digital games are being pushed more than physical, or even the addition of the previously mentioned game keycards. That's a whole other story, and at this point, there's just way too many videos on the topic anyway. All I will say about them for now is, as a lover of everything physical media, physical games, I just don't like them. We are going to be seeing a lot more of these, especially in the third-party realm. Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate is a game keycard, of course. As well, for some reason, Pokemon Pokopia is also a game keycard. I wonder why they decided to make this one a game keycard, even though no other Pokemon game is. It's a little bit shady if you ask me, but who knows? Maybe they're trying to find an alternative. One last thing I'll say about the games is the amount of variety there is to play on Switch 2 right now. I'll be honest. I need water. I'll be honest, I need water. I'll be honest, I stuck to my favorites over the years, whether it was Mario, Pokemon, or Splatoon, but I've been slowly branching out and trying more Nintendo IPs, and even more indie games. It's fine to have favorites and want more of those series, but I would recommend taking advantage of Nintendo's huge library of games and try something new. I even gave Xenoblade Chronicles a try, and I might even play it again at some point. So with all that being said, do I, KnightSky, believe that you, the viewer, should buy a Nintendo Switch 2 right now? Absolutely. I truly believe you're getting the best deal right now for a console that can be used both at home and on the go, and with the library of existing games and the games that will come out in the future, now is the perfect time to buy. Now, I'll admit there are a lot of things I hope to see improved on the console as a whole. Customization, new exclusive features, besides a paid game chat button, and more. but I am really enjoying my time with the Switch 2, which at the end of the day is all I could ever ask for. If you already have a Switch 1, I think it's worth a little to wait until there's a game you really don't want to miss out on, like Pokopia, for example. And please take what I said into account, but it's only a matter of time until prices go up, inevitably for Nintendo as well. So make sure you think smart and use your money well. Video games are meant to be a form of enjoyment and entertainment, not ways for people to mock each other or bash each other for what they spend their money on. And of course, discussion and hate on Nintendo and the Switch 2 are going to continue as long as the console's around, as long as Nintendo doesn't mess up and make another Fire Emblem Warriors. That game sucked. And yeah, that's all I got. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. This is my first time I tried a video like this where it's really scripted and kind of informational and things like that. I'm bound to get a few things wrong, but I really want to try to start and do new things on this channel because I know it's been quite a while since I've been uploading consistently, and I just want to say thank you guys for watching so much. I truly appreciate it. If you want to see more stuff like this, I have plenty of other stories to tell, and I can't wait to share them with you all. By the way, this isn't a microphone. This is just a little mini bottle of hot sauce that I've been using. But with that being said, thank you for watching. Stay safe, enjoy the vibe. Peace.